Hello everyone, this is Sijas from Coding with Sijas and welcome back to the channel. This is the 20th video in the UI5 series. So if you're watching this series for the first time, do click the link above to access the entire playlist. That way, you can get to know what we have done until now and continue from there. And if you haven't subscribed this channel yet, do consider the subscribe. Also, share this playlist with your fellow developers who's interested in learning UI5 and build a career out of it. Without any further delay, let's jump to today's topic. In the last video, we have seen how to integrate a REST service into a UI5 application. And we have also seen several examples in the past videos. More and more examples always just help you to build better applications and make you better in development. So in this video, we are seeing another example, which is also a request from a subscriber, which is a to-do list app. So let's see how we can develop it. Let me open the command palette by clicking Ctrl+Shift+P or Command+Shift+P. I'll go to Open Application Generator and select UI5 Freestyle. From this, I'll select a simple UI5 application, SAPF application, and service, I'll mention none. So the reason I'm giving none is that I'm expecting you already have a service and you know how to make use of it. So in this example, I'll just show you how from UI you can process the data. So what I'll do is I'll create a dummy JSON model, which will be playing the same role of a service. So I'll choose none. View, let me give it as first. Next. Your module name is to-do list. Application is to-do list. Namespace is, I'm giving in.sijas. Your application, and let me choose the project as Coding with Sijas. So, and here I'll create folder and just click on finish. So let's wait till the dependency is installed. Yes, I'll go and open the folder. I'll open the terminal and run using npm command, npm start. So we have run successfully the application. So to-do list app is running. So I'll go and create model. So I'll go to model.js, which is already generated, and I'll create a new method under this. Let me call it create to-do model. Is again a function. This is also a JSON model. So omodel equal to new JSON model, and I'll return the model. So what does model contain? The model contain an object. Okay, let me call it as to-do_list, and which is an empty array for now, and we'll add data later. So we have to-do list, to-do model here. So let me go to component.js, and you can see here we have one syntax which is creating the device model. So similarly, we just create to-do model, and the function which we'll be calling is model.create to-do model. Right? So we have the to-do model here. Now let's open the view, first view, and let's add content. So what I'm planning to do is we'll bring a to-do in a form of a list, which will be showing basically the title of the to-do, the description of the to-do, also maybe the date when you want to complete it, and a button to complete the to-do list, right? Also a delete button if you don't want to keep the to-do list, you can just delete it. So that's the plan. So first let me go and create a list. So a list is available. So list ID, I'll give an ID, because I mean you always need to provide an ID, that's the thing. So I'll give an ID as ID list, right? So under that, maybe I need a header toolbar, and in a header toolbar I need to give a toolbar. So ID as ID list toolbar, TB toolbar, right? So under the toolbar, that's okay. Under the toolbar, I'll have a title, and title text equal to what to complete, just like that. Okay, what to complete, and let's see how our app looks. Let me go, so you can see what to complete, right? So also we will be having an add button, so a button icon, SAP icon, add, and let's say text as create. So that's a create button. You see create is touching with the title. In this we need a space, so I'll give toolbar spacer. So both should be going in corners. Perfect. You have the button here with what to complete. Now let's create a list item. So the design just we mentioned, where you have a title, under that you have a description, you have a date field, and at the end you have a button. All these things cannot be possible using the existing list items. So we will go with a custom list item. So custom list item is here. So in a custom list item, we will add so we want some items like this, we want some items like this. So it is going to be a horizontal box. So in horizontal box, I'll add one vertical box, which will be containing one text. Let me call it as a label. Yeah, text as title. So these are going to be a basic structure. We will replace everything with binding. So label is there and text is also there. Text will be some blah 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 descriptions. Now I also will be having a text which shows the date. So let me not use the text. There are chances that you have a date given when you want to complete it, and it is exceeding or it is already past comparing to today's date, or we have few more days to complete it, or it's completely in future, so we don't have a problem. So to indicate that, we will be using something called object status. So I'll just create, instead of text, I'll use object status, and the text here we can give something as some text we'll give, and there is one state field. We will give it as error for now. And now we also need a button to complete. So button icon equal to SAP icon tick. Okay, I need a tick icon, so I think it is accept as the icon, and text as complete. Yeah, perfect. So let me do this. So you can see text, everything has come here, but it's all so touching each other. They are so touchy. So what we do is we will first we want to put some space between every side. So I'll apply a class for it. So let me open the UI5 SDK here. So first thing is this column list item. I need to have some padding inside it. So let me go to documentation and search for class, and we go to predefined CSS margin classes, and we will just apply a small margin for the edge box, so it will be leaving a space from all the sides, right? So once I do that, I have enough space, it's not touching the corners anymore. Now the alignment of this one. So first thing is we want to align the VBox items inside HBox. So we will be using justify content, and we'll say that the content need to be spaced between, so we will use space between. So that will ensure that there are enough spaces now. And the order also, maybe we can just bring everything into center alignment, so that we can do using align items. So align items can be a property for center. So with this we'll have a properly center aligned item. So this is our list. Now let's go back and build our data. Let me go to model. I'll create an object here. So the object contain a title, maybe create a to-do video as a title, and the description which I'll be using is subscriber requested a new video, implement it ASAP, right? So when am I planning to complete it? So I'll complete it on a date. So target date is new date by today, so 06/21/2023. Also I have to give a status. So status means whether it is completed or not. So I'll indicate with 0, which is incomplete, 1 as completed. So this is my data. So I'll just create many instances of this. Right. So I have created several instances of the same thing. So I'll just format it. Okay, we are good. So to do video, REST API video 2, then there was 1 REST API video. Before that we have a create a video, create a JSON model video. Before that we have a calculator video, and even before that we have training video and another training video. So now let me look some of it. So I'll give this as 6, this as maybe a few days before 19. I'll give this as 5. This I'll make it again 05, and maybe on 10th, and this is on 04, this is on 03, and this is on 02. So I have so much data with me now. Now with this I'll do the binding. So first thing first is go to items and do an item binding. So item binding is nothing but m to do list. Let's see whether it repeats. Yeah, so to do list binding is completed. Now we'll have the binding as m to do title. I'll just copy these things. Title, sorry, that is what to complete is the main title. So we have it, should be here, m to do title. Instead of this we have description. Instead of the object status we have date. So path is to do target date, and yeah, and complete is completed. All good. So now with this you can see the date is coming in a very large format. We don't want that date, so we'll just pass type for it. So type is nothing but sap.ui.model.type.date time. So once I use that, I get a date time. So everything is 12 o'clock. So I'll just use date. So it's only a date. Perfect. So now we have this. Now we have to format it based on colors. So you see here it is coming as 20. The data is 20. 1 if you see here. The reason why it is coming is because it's not represented in the UTC. Okay, let me not use OData. Let me just use type. Yeah, perfect. So if you use OData type, it will do the conversion into the UTC format. I'll just use model.type.date and it should have it. And now everything is not error. So instead of error, I will be having a format option. So I'll give path as status. Now we need a formatter function. So new file, formatter.js. No base object, simply an object. And object contains format date, which will be taking the date instance, which is to do date. Okay, date. Now it's checking whether it's overdue or is it approaching very soon or is it in the fully in past. We need to know what is today's date, so we'll give it as today equal to new date. Yep. And the days between, so days between is nothing but, let's compare today's date or to do date dot get time minus today. So this will give us a value which is just basically the timestamp between those two dates. So that's coming in milliseconds. So we need to convert that back to number of days. So 1000 converts into seconds, into 60 converts to minutes, into 60 converts to hours, into 24 will convert it back to days. So these are the number of days between that. So now let's have the condition. If I days between is greater than 3, that means if there are more than 3 days to complete, then I'll return it as success. Else if the I days between is greater than 0, that means it is less than 3 but greater than 0, we're almost there, so we will give it as return warning. And the else case, which is already date has passed, so that will be return error. Yeah, so let's see how it looks. So format date, I first path the status, comma formatter is format date. So we have to import that into our controller. We go to first controller and in.sijas.to-do list .init.formatter. So the formatter here, formatter is there. Now all you need to do is formatter :formatter, comma. So we are saving all the formatters into the variable, and formatter dot formatter from the current instance dot day start date end date. Let's put a debug point. Let's see if there is any error. Sources, formatter. Let's come here. Basically not hitting this. Okay. We don't need this. Okay, path is not status, it is m to do status. Value state indicator color blah blah blah. Yeah, correct. It should be to do status, and formatter should be dot formatter dot. Perfect, it's coming here. So to do date is sorry, it should be web. We should be passing target date here instead of status. Let's let it refresh. Perfect. So we have to do date here. You have today's date here, and the difference is, you know, minus. That means it's almost done for today, and like that. So almost we will be equal to this one. Let me see why April is not coming up. So these all are overdue. Okay, let's create the sub app maybe for few days in future. So it's for the next month, and this one maybe in few days, right? So let me put this. So you can see 21 is green, 25 is also this one, so maybe I'll put 22. We'll get a warning for it. So this is slightly orange, these are red, completely red, and this is orange, and this is green, meaning it is green warning everything. Now we have to implement the complete things. So here everything is 0, right? That means everything status is incomplete. So let me mark few as completed. So the last two I'll mark it as completed. So we have it here. Now all I need to do is I need to hide those items which is already completed. So in the column list item, I'll use visible and equal to dollar. So I'm doing a binding here. So m to do status double equal to 0, and that should be doing it. Okay, there's an error. Usually this double equal to will not work here, so we'll just give triple equal to C. Work C. So now with triple equal to, you can see that whatever was completed was gone. Now we have to implement a function for complete. So when I click on complete, it should be completing it. So for that, I'll go to my first and I'll attach an event to the complete event. So let me call it as set to complete. So set to complete should complete the particular to do item. So function, you can have O event here. So where O source equal to O event dot get source O context equal to O source dot get binding context with respect to M to do. Now for model equal to this dot get view dot get model. M to do. Done. So all you need to do is to complete it is M model dot set property status should be made 1 for the context. Now with this we just format it. Okay, here some error we have seen. Command escaped. Okay, so this is the error. Yeah, so when I click on complete, each item gets completed and everything is gone. Now that's the simple example of to do. Now let's see how we can do a create. So that would be in the first, in create, on press event, I'll be calling create to do method. Okay, now in first controller I'll go and create the function which I'm supposed to call, save it. Also in the view, for now I'm not okay, in the web app I'll create a new file that would be fragment slash create dot fragment dot xml. Yeah, we have the create fragment here. So we are done. We have the create fragment. Now core fragment definition. So we have the fragment definition and default namespace XML ns is sap.m, under which I'll bring a dialog. Let's try opening the dialog. So in first controller, what I'll do first is I'll create an instance of this dot. If this dot create dialog is not present, then I need to create a fragment. So for that I'll import sap.ui.core.fragment sap/ui/core/fragment. Yep. So here this dot create dialog equal to fragment dot load. So first thing is type XML Next is the name. The name of the fragment is in.sijas dot to-do list dot fragment dot create, and once it is completed, it will be calling a callback function. We'll be having the dialog, and I'll be proxying it with the controller. And first thing, we will return the dialog instance. Now we have to do this dot get view dot set add dependent for dialog. Yep, once that is done, this will be over, and this dot create dialog dot then in function. So this is only invoked once, so that is the reason why I'm not opening the dialog inside that. So here, once the dialog is present, dialog dot open. So this is the concept. Let me see whether it opens the dialog or not. I'll exit once and start again. Click on create, so the empty dialog is opened. So I'll add content to it. So we just need few things inside that. So content is let me add a VBox and close the VBox. And I can have a label, text, title, and text equal to mcreate. So we will create a model called mcreate. So in that model we will be having the title field. We'll just repeat it. Instead of title we have description, and it will appear. Then apart from description, we need a date. So label text equal to date, and we will be having a date picker. Whose value would be create target date. Let's see this, how it looks. So click on plus create. Okay, here we have an error, so I guess we have closed the binding here. Here also we have to close the binding. Let's see again. Yep, we have something here. So title, I'll give it as create new to do, and we'll also give a content padding, responsive content padding. So class equal to, let's go here and give responsive content padding. Yep. So when you click create, we have a simple date description. Okay. See, instead of text, it should be input. This also should be input. Should be value. This also should be value. Perfect. Now we have this one. So at the end, I'll give one button. It's called begin button. In the begin button aggregation, I'll add a button, and let me call that as create. Okay, so we have simple dialog which can be used to create. Now let's go ahead and create the model for creation. So let me go to first controller. So this is where we were creating the model. So we'll create a model here. And let me go to models. I'll copy one instance from here, copy, and go to first controller, paste it there. So this is one basic data. I'll make it empty here. I'll make this as also empty, and let it be new date, and status is 0. Now I'll import JSON model here. So JSON model is imported. Now with the JSON model, let me create an instance of JSON model here. So o dialog dot set model is new JSON model. Data we pass as o data, and the model name is a model or mcreate, right? That's what we have used here, mcreate. Now mcreate is done and the model is also set. Now once this is created, we will use o dialog or dialog dot get model mcreate dot set data o data. Right, so now this is set. Also we have to pass the controller, so let me pass the controller instance as this. So with this we should be pretty much done with setting the model. So let me click on plus. Now what happens when you click on create button? So that should be saved, right? So we will go to create fragment, is a create here, and save to do. I'll call save to do method. I'll come back here. I'll create another method called save to do. Perfect. So I'll put a debugger here. So before putting debugger, this is pretty much simple. We'll do the same thing inside this. So once it is saved, we will be saving things into the main model. So we need to get the model of that. So o to do model equal to this dot get view dot get model, and the model name is m to do, right? And the data inside that is a data. I'll call this a data is m to do model dot get data. this much is done. So let's go here and put a debug point. So click on create, entering some title, entering some description, selecting date, and click on create. Wait, F12, declare it, click on create. We should be hitting the method. So let me come here, click on create. Okay. Is that fragment not saved? So let me save the fragment. Yeah. Perfect. So that fragment is saved. Come here, create, click on create, and in the debugger, we'll be here, right? So we are here, and we should be able to get the O dialog. So O dialog dot get model of m create dot get data. So that's the data and all those things. Perfect. So let me just enter something to it, select a date, create, and once I hit the breakpoint, I should be able to see the data, and you can see everything is coming in, so it's perfect. I guess target date is the only thing which is not coming properly. So the reason being, a date picker control basically uses date value instead of value. So if I go to date picker, m.wait date picker properties, the value field for it is not properties is date value. So that's the field which we need to bind. So let me bind it properly, date value, and click on plus, select a date, click on create, and let's see whether the data is changed. Still the same. Sorry, m create. We made a mistake in the model name, so let's try again. Yeah, plus create, select a different date, click on create, and here we are. So that's the date we just selected. Perfect. Now all we need to do is, we have a data, so again where m data, so the data which we have is o data. So o data is o dialog dot get model, and the model name is m create dot get data. We have the data with us. We need to push it, not really push it. We the top, the newly created item should be at the top. So o data dot unshift is the method to insert at the top, and once that is done, we will go to to-do model and do a set data, and we will set the a data back. Also it's not in a data directly. A data dot to do underscore list is where you unshift it, and ultimately we have to close the dialog. So o dialog dot close. Perfect. I'll minimize this a little bit. Clear. Plus new to do description is something. The date I'm selecting as 27th of July, right? Yeah, 27th of July. Great. So you can see here 27th of July is coming up here, right? So this is already created. Now it is completed. We'll be completing it. Everything is good. Now the only pending part is the delete. So again, go back to my first view, go to my column list item, go to the list and select the mode as delete, and on delete event, we'll be calling delete to do. So now after refreshing it, we'll get a delete here, delete button. So go to delete, go to first controller, at the end of save to do, click to do, delete to do as function. Again, since we are instantiating it on an event, we need an O event where O source should be O event dot get source, and the context is O context equal to O source dot get context. Yep, respect to m to do, and let's put a debug part. So now what will happen is the data what we have is in array format. So when I click on this delete, oh, get context is not a function. Okay, sorry, get binding context. So when I click on delete, it's hitting here. Now our O context is in an array format. So if you see O context, wait, O context with respect to M to do, right? M to do, correct. M to do, wait. Click delete. Let's see what is the O source. O source is, let's see what is O source. O source is nothing but the list. Okay, it's a list. So O event dot get parameter. So let's see what are the parameters. So basically, since the event is triggering on a list, you wouldn't really get, okay, event dot get source dot get binding context with respect to M to do undefined. So what just happened now is that basically the event is not triggered on the row item where we have bound. It happened on the in the list. You can see here we have the mode list and the event is triggered on the list. So O event dot get source wouldn't give you the row which we have clicked. Instead, what it gives you is the list where it has triggered. So we will not be using this way to get the item which is being deleted. Instead, what we'll use is we'll use something like O event dot get parameter. If you do get parameters, you can see this is the item which is being deleted and the key is list item. So what you need to do is, instead of using get parameters, is get parameter and type list item. So this will give you the item where it has been triggered, the item where we have deleted it. So let me go to first controller and replace that with this code where I know which item is being deleted, and that's my source. I'll clear it again, clear it, click on this. Now we have a context. Perfect. To do list of 0. So now we have clicked it on the 0th item. Here when I'm clicking on it, I get the context. Here I click on the second item. So we need to remove the second item from the list altogether. So let's get the to do model also here. So M to do equal to this dot get view dot get model M to do. Also the data which we have is a data is M to do dot get data. Right Now we have to get the s path. So s path is or I index. S path is nothing but the path of the context. So we can use get path for this. You can try it out here. You can just type console o context dot get path. That will give you the s path. So from this we will be splitting with one slash. We need to get the index where we are deleting it. So get path is here. Now using that get path, I need to get the index. I index, right? I index is s path dot split based on slash. So first slash. So if I do this dot split with slash, I get 3 items and 0 second index. So my second index is going to be the I index, which I want to delete. Now all I need to do is I need to say a data dot splice, remove the item from I index zero and set it back to the m-to-do. A index dot to do list, that is where our data is, and m-to-do dot set data a data. Perfect. Format. Let's see. Maybe there will be slight mistake in this. Just there might be some issue with the splice index, but still let's try removing it. So the one we are removing is REST API video 1. So I'm clicking on it. Wait. Go to sources. Okay, I'm clicking on this one. I'm already here. Gang. Okay, we are good. We have I index as 2. Now a data dot splice console. If I do this, oh, it's going empty. Okay, one item. So everything is gone. So I think just okay, splice and remove one item after that. That's the syntax, I believe. Let's try it out. So I'm deleting May 21 okay, and that's gone. So that's the syntax. So now you can see that when I am able to create some new item, description, some date, create. So it's in future. So I can just create again, and something in past, create. So you can see it's already in red. So this is a simple to-do list. So guys, now I have seen how we can create a simple to-do list. We have utilized several methods which we have seen in previous videos also, but I hope this will be a brush up for you. And to the subscriber who have requested video, please go through this, and I hope I have covered what you expected to do. So thanks for watching this video. As I always say, kindly subscribe this channel if you haven't, and also share the playlist. You click the bell icon to get more notifications like this, and also like the video if this was helpful. Or you can always post negative comments as well, so dislike it if this is not something you expected from this video. And please add the comment so that I know whether it is helping or not. So that's it for today. See you guys in the next video.